I would like to introduce Kathryn Kysar. Kathryn is the author of 2 books of poetry, Dove Plate and Pretend the World, and she edited Writing Shotgun, Women Write About Their Mothers. She has received fellowships from Banfill-Locke Center for the Arts, the Minnesota State Arts Board, the National Endowment for the Humanities, and the Anderson Center for Interdisciplinary Studies. She lives with her family in St. Paul. Please welcome Kathryn Kysar.
I'd like to thank the library staff and Satish and Kimberly Nightingale and all the community editors and contributors that contributed to this wonderful, wonderful book. I'm very happy to read here because this is my childhood library. At one time I had read almost every book in this area that we're in. I don't think I could claim that right now. And I'm going to read a short poem, and then I'm going to read my piece in the Almanac. And this poem took place over on Pierce Butler in Fairview a little bit after I graduated to the adult section of the library. It's called First Kiss, St. Paul, 1973. Amid the ransacking rumble of semi-trailers, we stumbled the sloped hill of Pierce Butler, the truck route near the train tracks. Around small trees and large bushes, weeds sticking into our clothes, we slid to a secluded spot. He knelt to hold me down. Facing each other, a light press of lips, no more than a promise, a signature on a blank page in light blue ink that fades in sunlight, the slight spray of small flowers amidst gray clouds. So I stayed in the Midway area for college. I went to Hamlin, and I worked as a hotel desk clerk at the St. Paul Hotel before it was refurbished, and then it got closed down, and then I had to go to work someplace else. So the following summer I got a job at what was then the Radisson. And excuse me, I'm going to use my reading glasses. And this is called Thank You for Calling the Radisson St. Paul. During the summer of 1980, between my sophomore and junior years at Hamlin University, I worked as a telephone operator on the 3 to 11 shift at the last existing cord board in St. Paul at the downtown Radisson Hotel. The toggles and cords were mounted on a long, narrow black desk with metal-rimmed holes in a vertical wall panel. Operators sat side by side, clicking the cloth-wrapped cords into room-numbered holes to connect the calls. To listen in, we flicked a small toggle at the bottom of the cord, but we didn't do this, at least not very often. We were expected to greet every caller with a cheery, "Thank you for calling the Radisson St. Paul." As we became tired each evening, our voices grew more nasal, like Lily Tomlin's character Ernestine, the cordboard operator who always said, "Is this the party to whom I am speaking?" It took less energy and air to speak through our noses. Like Ernestine, the phone department supervisor must have been complimented on her legs back in the 1940s, as she still wore short black skirts, heels, and rolled under hair. Every evening she'd call us several times from home between the TV shows that she was watching, unable to imagine that we could do our work without her assistance. The kindly older woman I worked with was round from sitting and fond of puppy pictures in the National Enquirer. As a newly minted feminist, I read Anais Nin, Violet Leduc, Monique Wittig, and other obscure French authors. We spent our entire shift in a small, stuffy room, getting up only to use the restroom. A television was mounted on the ceiling corner where we could monitor the pay-per-view movies. Again and again, the alien burst forth from the crewman's chest, then later, full-grown, unhinged its saliva-dripping jaws to fight the sweating and undershirt-clad Sigourney Weaver. I was by far the youngest phone operator. The other women chatted about soap operas and read Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, and gossip magazines they flipped through between the calls in the hot basement room. Halfway through our shifts, we ordered grilled sandwiches from the room service menu to break up the boredom, the movie droning on in the background, the gruesome alien being reborn again and again. I usually kept my mouth shut, having little to discuss with the other operators, but I relished the click of the plugs as they slid into place, the interweaving black snake-like cords, the snap of the released plug, the physical rhythm of the work. I quit at the end that summer to return to my classes at Hamlin and take a job across the street at the Midway Motel. But to this day, I cannot pass the Crown Plaza without saying in a nasal voice, "Thank you for calling Radisson St. Paul."